To Iraq now, where armed forces have made new gains in West Mosul as they attempt to take back the city from Daesh. They've now captured Al Hawriya Bridge. It's the second bridge crossing the Tigris River to be captured since the offensive to take the west of the city began. Let's go straight to our correspondent Nicole Johnston, who has been following the story in Iraq. She is live for us in Erbil. Nicole, really good to see you. So firstly, bring us up to date with the very latest in the fighting.
Well, as we've heard, over the last few days, the fighting had slowed down. There was really poor weather. There was no air support for Iraqi forces. They took quite a battering from Daesh. Daesh sent in suicide car bombs and bulldozers laden with explosives. They broke through Iraqi defences. Since then, as you can see, the weather has cleared up. Air support is back. There has been an advance, according to Iraqi forces. They're moving deeper into western Mosul, but it's really step by step. They continue to say that they've captured new neighbourhoods, but on the ground, when we speak to people, we hear that they're still meeting resistance from Daesh in those neighbourhoods. It is significant that they've managed to capture a second bridge. They want to use these bridges once they're repaired or once they build a pontoon across the Tigris River to resupply the forces in the west from the east. The Iraqi forces are also continuing to say they're a few hundred metres away from taking government buildings inside western Mosul and moving into the old part of the city, but they've also been saying that for the last few days.
Nicole, there was always a lot of concern that in West Mosul it was a very congested area, people living very close to each other. What has the challenge been in terms of the civilians? Have people been losing their lives? What can you tell us about that?
That's right. We've seen really desperate scenes for civilians trying to escape from western Mosul over the last few days. As you said, it's more densely populated than East Mosul. It's narrow, winding streets. Once you move deeper into the old part of the city, it's going to make it harder for Iraqi forces to get their Humvees in. As we saw in eastern Mosul, Daesh often position themselves on rooftops and rooftops with civilians in the houses below. So it makes it hard for forces to launch an attack. But to find out more about the humanitarian situation that civilians are facing right now, we're joined by Maleny Markham. She is from the media unit of the Norwegian Refugee Council. Thank you for joining us. We know that many of these civilians are now heading to camps across northern Iraq. How prepared are those camps? Are there enough tents? Is there enough space?
I think it's an effort that the humanitarian community, the Iraqis and the international NGOs can be immensely proud of. I mean, people arrive in the camps looking desperate. It's really heartbreaking, the scenes you see as they arrive, but their basic needs are being met. Almost immediately they receive food and water, and then the Norwegian Refugee Council provides them with supplies for the next few days. More food, more water, soap and towels, buckets, you know, the basic things that people need. And we are keeping up with the huge numbers of people that are arriving. I mean, there are hundreds, if not thousands, that are arriving every day. I saw 30 buses arrive at one camp. There's certainly huge numbers, but we're keeping up and meeting people's basic needs as they arrive in the camps.
As you said, it looked like a real flood of IDPs over the last few days, but have you had to build new camps, or are they going into the pre-existing camps that were there from the eastern Mosul offensive?
It's both, Nicole. There's some capacity, some tents left in the camps that have already been built. They're absorbing people as they arrive. People are, they have a home to go to, even if it's a tent. But also, we're soon to open capacity for at least 10,000 people more. That's going to continue happening as long as people arrive and as long as we have the resources to do so.
And for the humanitarian community, has it been more or less people to come out of West Mosul than you expected?
Well, we've been preparing for this for months, and so we are very well prepared, and it is what we expect. I mean, you can never tell how the battle will run, and obviously it's a very fluid situation, and there are genuine concerns about the next weeks and months, how many people are going to flee. I mean, there's still over 750,000 people inside West Mosul. 400,000 people in the old city, and it's estimated that around 250,000 people in total will flee. 45,000 people have already fled, so there is going to be a massive wave of need, but we're keeping up with that need at the moment, and we plan to continue doing so.
And that's Maleny Markham from the Norwegian Refugee Council joining us on TRT World. But as you can hear, certainly a desperate situation for the tens of thousands of civilians who are trying to get out of Western Mosul at the moment.
OK, Nicole Johnston there live for us in Erbil. Many thanks.